Thank you, Conrad. Most people under the age of 5 will get hand, foot, and mouth disease. And this is just one of many childhood illnesses that are passed around annually.
Yes, and here to tell us how to spot this illness and what you can do to protect your children is Nurse Christina Paris. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Hi, good morning. I'm glad to be here.
Yes, still in the sling, we see.
Still in the sling.
Getting better, though.
I am, and I probably overuse it. I'm trying very hard to be good.
Well, we appreciate you making it in this morning.
Yeah.
So, what is hand, foot, and mouth disease?
It is one of those viral infections. It's caused by the Coxsackie virus, and it's similar to, all the other viruses like chickenpox and other things that we get. A lot of them, though, there's immunizations, so that
something we can do.
Right, like MMR, the measles, mumps, rubella. So kids aren't getting those nearly as often. However, this one, there is a vaccine that they use in China, and it was developed in 2015, but it's still not available yet in the United States. So we still have to watch for it.
And are there any kind of unique symptoms that we should be watching out for?
So there are. Typically, they'll have rash, high fever, and sore throat. You'll notice maybe that your little one isn't eating or drinking as much as normal. Again, the fever is what I remember when my kids had it.
Oh, goodness.
And then the rash is kind of indistinguishable. You can tell that that's something going on. Now, that rash differs from chickenpox because chickenpox, it'll have like a fluid-filled, the rash, the tops will, So if they're not eating, for babies, they might drool a little more than normal or only want cold fluids. They, won't want to eat other things. So you want to watch for those.
All right. So how is this treated or prevented, perhaps?
So really, the only treatment for viral infections is just symptom management. So you can give them acetaminophen or ibuprofen if they develop a fever or if they have like sores in their mouth or difficulty swallowing. You never want to give a child aspirin. That's not good. But they can do ibuprofen. They can do Tylenol. If they are under the age of 6 months, you want to contact their provider, their pediatrician, and talk to them about appropriate treatments.
True. I mean, there's so little at that point.
Right, yep. And when you want to call their provider, so most of these things you can just treat at home. But if your child is not able to eat or drink, so you're concerned about dehydration, and with little ones, we can tell that by watching how many diapers. So if they aren't having very many wet diapers during the day, or you're not changing them as normal, that could be a sign of dehydration. So you want to, contact their provider. If the fever lasts longer than 3 days, if their symptoms do not improve within 10 days, if they have a weakened immune system, so a child who's a diabetic or on chemotherapy or have cancer, you want to definitely let the provider know right away. And if their symptoms just get really severe, they're just really sick, really lethargic, give the pediatrician a call. It doesn't hurt. And then again, with viruses, we wash your hands. Just wash your hands often before and after you are in contact with any body fluids with children, changing diapers, things like that. And use hand sanitizer. Right now, with COVID being like the max right now, it is everywhere. We get so many calls. And off topic, COVID, it seems like a sore throat is one of the things with this particular round that's starting. But that's a side note there.
Maybe a teaser for next week.
Yeah, just letting you know. So a lot of people are saying, I've had a really terrible sore throat, and it's turning out to be COVID. But anyway, so you want to keep hand sanitizer still around the house. Don't get rid of those things, and hand wash.
And is there like a test for it for hand, foot, and mouth, or they just kind of see it and they know?
Right, there is no test. Really, you're watching for, like I said, like whole body rashes, rashes on the hands, the feet, and the mouth, which was why it was called hand, foot, and mouth. Yep, so you'll see like on the palms of their hands, just watching for symptoms.
Well, And is there a timeline for if people get this, when they can kind of expect it to work its way through?
Usually between like 5 to 10 days. So the reason this topic came about was because a friend of mine, her child picked it up at daycare. And so it's going around up here in the Northwoods, which was why I wanted to talk about it. But it should subside. And she said within a few days, her child was feeling better already. So again, you know, between 5 to 10 days, if it lasts longer than 10, then give your provider a call.
That's great advice. Thanks, Nurse Christina.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much. And coming up, we have what's trending,